Bonne année, mes amis. Happy New Year, friends. I'm just sort of having a little hash out or planning out the year and making new goals. That's how I like to spend my New Year's Eve. I'm really excited for this whole fresh new start and what a way to do it. The new number on the year. I'm back from visiting my folks over the holidays back in my own home, and I start back on work in 3 days. Well, actually, I'm sort of working tomorrow, but anyhow, this is my first kind of full day really on my own. The house is nice and empty, and I could go out in the city and see what's happening, but at this moment I really just want to stay in and spend this time for myself. I've been so surrounded with friends and family, and it's been wonderful these past couple of weeks actually, because the weeks leading up to the holidays were so busy and filled with visiting people as well that a little part of me doesn't want to do anything but just be on my own right now. I like it. I love me time. I was already practicing a bit. I've done so much cleaning and so much organizing, which I've been putting off or just haven't had the time or the chance to do in so long. But yeah, I've got some projects coming up. I don't really know how this video is going to end up looking if I'm sitting here, but we'll see. I thought while I was doing this, it's been a while since I just made a good old video for everybody, and there's so many things here that would make awesome sounds. For instance, I'm making myself a little practice journal that I'm going to stick on the wall. And I've done this before in actual journals, like practice journals, and marking it in a book while writing stuff, but I think I'd like to have something out there and just that I stick here and that I can fill out and see. And the way that I'm going to do this is sort of like copying the app called Strava, which is actually for fitness. It's kind of like a running, cycling, triathlon app where, actually I'll show you. I have no idea if I'm actually in this video or not, because I don't really want to be on screen. So Strava is an app where you kind of upload your exercise, kind of like Map My Run. So as you can see, this is actually what I've done. So you can see I log a lot of hours training. It shows those little bubbles there and when you've done something and how far it is. In general, I do more when I'm cross-training. The different colors are different things. So the green is running and the pink is cycling. And I haven't swam that much recently. If I scroll, well, I can't really scroll down, but there are blue ones down there from swimming. So yeah, I kind of want to, I'm inspired by that for this practice journal, which is gonna be, I'll start with today, even though it's not 2017 yet, but why not? I'm gonna use these Sharpies along with these Stadler fine liners. And I think I'll just do it this way. So today was actually Saturday, but I'll do it as dates. and then if I do any more, I would add them in. And then at the end of each week, I guess, I'll just kind of tally it up. Let's make this a little bit nicer. It's not the desired effect, but oh well. Oh, it looks bad now. Oopsie doopsie. Didn't really. It looks worse. Oh, I could start anew. But oh well. This is temporary, it's not going to be up forever. Right? I kind of salvaged it. Kind of. Not really. Apologies for that. Oh my god, it's like I can't write anymore. I don't know why I think it's so funny. But it kind of is. It just looks pretty bad. Well, it doesn't matter. Bad compared to what, right? Okay, enough of that. Ooh, that yellow marker smelled funky. So that I'm gonna have to put up. But I want to show you some other things. I just got all this cool stuff that I want to show you. Wow. Do you like the crinkly sound? So, as many of you know, I am Canadian. I'm very proud to be Canadian. Although I didn't, I guess I never really thought I was that patriotic. I didn't think that, oh, no one's really like that. Wow, compared to some, like, how patriotic some Americans are about that. Like, oh, America. Am I like that, like Canada? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not that extreme. But then I think about all the stuff I have that's really Canadian. Like, these are mitts that I always wear. I have, oh wait, no, they're here too. I was going to say I have other ones around here, but they are. One moment. I'll show you where it all began. So it's another bear. In 2010, Vancouver hosted the Olympics, and they sold these mitts as part of like the Olympic uniform or whatever you could buy, so you could have the Olympic swag. And these were so cool because they had little maple leaf, and you could see everybody at the waving their hands, and they were great. Like, I really like them. Isn't that adorable? So I got these. They're from 2010, and then since then, the Bay made these. We don't have a tag on that one. Different, like slightly different model every year. And I should have almost all of them. I think these were the year after, so same sort of thing, but like the maple leaf is amongst both mitts. You can see the sort of Olympic logo there on these ones. It says Canada. Even though there was no Olympics the next year, they would still make. There's different ones, and Hudson's Bay is still making them. I would actually get these for Christmas every year. My mom gave them to me. And the ones from last year, they had I think they were black. They had a strip of black on them as well. I unfortunately lost one of them, so I got rid of them. But these are the newest ones, maple leaf on both sides. And it's like, these ones are just like the flag. And I think that they went the very classic, like, Canadian flag this year because Canada, a little country, is turning 150 years old this year. So it's called the sesquicentennial. So I have a lot of swag, hence all of these screen cleaners from work. So this is a little screen cleaner. The logo, I want to look at the logo a little closer. So this is actually sort of an old version of it. The newer version isn't colored. It's just the outline. But some people really don't like this logo. I actually think it's really cool. Sorry that it's not very focused. Sorry, we're not getting focused on you. It's really, I like it. I forget everything that it symbolizes, but that just a couple of simple lines can mean so much. So, first of all, of course, it is a maple leaf, but then it has feathers. So the feathers indicating our First Nations, Indigenous people. That is a big part of our heritage, and that has really come like to the forefront these last few years with Truth and Reconciliation, with Indigenous and First Nations people and the land, and how it does belong to them, and we recognize the land now. Anyhow, that is their symbol. We have those feathers to indicate that. There's also symbolism of mountains. I do believe, I don't remember, I think it's just kind of like, these look like mountains too. Mountain peaks. This on the middle meant something. I think it's diamonds because this is Canada 150, so Jubilee, is that it? I don't remember. But there's diamonds in there. And then with each of the segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is all of our provinces and territories and how they're together. So we have our, yeah, I think that's what the colors meant, but I don't remember now exactly. We have 2 oceans, or we actually have 3 oceans. It could be leaves for the trees. Anyhow, yeah, that's that. It's pretty cool. So this is a screen cleaner, and I'd show you on my phone, but you're my phone. So I'm just going to put it on the back of my phone case, which is this OtterBox that's a little bit dirty. So gross. I often run with my phone like in my shirt. Oh, it's just so sweaty and gross what I do with it. So these screen cleaners, they're adhesive on the back. So, before I do this, I'm going to do something crazy and clean my phone case. Speaking of how like dirty and nasty it is, I guess I should clean it. These alcohol wipes, I didn't put them out here. I didn't anticipate doing this for a video or anything on purpose, but they're out because I was cleaning and a lot of just random stuff ended up on my bed right now, which is like pseudo my desk, as you can tell. Wow, that was not clean, but now it is. So that's there, and then just let it evaporate. Good. Just put that there. It's so soft. So this, you'd peel it off and then just use it to wipe down the screen. There we go. Last show and tell thing is 2017 calendar. This is my date book. Why not? I got myself a moleskin date book. I've never had a moleskin date book before. So this is the first, as you can see. That's this week. That's next week. It's exciting to see the year ahead. I think I'd like to try bullet journaling / making a diary that way in the future. But for now this does the trick. I always kind of have this date book. I've been using a date book for like really religiously for the last like 6 or 7 years. Doing that, and then when it's very busy, I make these. I just print off some like grid that I make on, I made this in Excel, I think. You can also, maybe I did it in Word, I don't remember now. But I just like do days of the week. I'm a weird person that starts their week on Monday now. I never thought I'd be like that, but I kind of like it. So I have all the days of the week, and then I put in every half hour, now starting from 5 a.m. and going to 11:30. And when I have to balance a lot of stuff, this is how I schedule, because if I'm not really organized, I get nothing done. And I have a hard time sometimes with time management, so I have to really draw it out to know how I'm managing my time, that I'm making sure that I can fit things in and traveling in, and then be able to see what I did and what I can do, like when I should not do anything. I mean, obviously next week is not, well, I know some things that I'm going to be doing now, so I should put them in. So I'll often like have things in here that are like out of the normal, out of the regular, but that are very important. And then daily things will go here, and I have a little place here where I can make notes. So I'm going to be doing this, and then So I'll have to, yeah, okay. But I'm off that on Monday, which is cool. But then, yeah, each day we'll have work. I guess I'll put all of that in. And then same with the weekend. It's going to be a really busy week, I think. That's what I mean. This is why I'm getting organized right now. This is why this is all happening. But I'm going to do that later. I printed off a whole bunch of them and wrote in the numbers of all the dates. So I just kind of like, I don't know how I'll kind of keep them. I don't really have a desk, but I would just leave this on my desk before when I did this last year and then look at it and make it, fill it out, and then look at it each day. And usually if once I kind of like fill it out, I remember it. But it's just that I initially have to put everything in and then I don't necessarily need to look at it again. I will double check numbers and times of things that I need to in this book, which I carry around with me that are important. This is just a journal. I've been really good about journaling a lot. When did I start this one? Okay, it doesn't say. I didn't write the date on the very first entry, but I write the date usually every single time. September. This is September 22nd. I think I got this on September 21st. That would make sense. Yep, the first day of fall. Venus, wow. Way to go, me. I did a whole big journal entry about the recap of 2016 just to see if I could remember from January, February, March, April. So sometimes it's weird looking back in a year. I kind of didn't, and then yeah, I forget what it's like. It was quite a year. Yeah, 2016. It was like each season was so different. Which I think, you know, we think of like years as a whole, but I don't know, maybe it's worth it making kind of resolutions every season. Because the tone of my own life each season was so different. I felt like I was a very different person each one. A lot of stuff happened in 2016. Good, bad, crazy, awesome. So, okay, this is a beautiful calendar that I got for free from Greenwood Printing, because they do printing of stuff that I have at work, and they just gave us these calendars for free. And as you can see, there's been a lot of themes this year. Most businesses are theming everything very Canada because of our sesquicentennial. Like, it's a big year for Canada. It's a big deal. And so everyone's kind of hopping on. So this calendar is all about the beauty of Canada. And I want to show you and read to you everything. But let's get a little bit closer. I want you to get closer. I'm actually going to just stand here. So, 2017, the beauty of Canada. You can see these gorgeous forests and trees. This paper is lovely. I love it. I can't stop touching it. It's like almost plasticky. I don't know how to explain. Our land is filled with a vast array of breathtaking scenery and marvelous animals. From giant icebergs to majestic deer, magnificent mountains to mighty wolves, landscapes so spectacular they take your breath away. This country, our home, boasts a stunning, inspiring combination of beauty and beast. Ooh, nice copy. There's a field. Wheat. That looks like Saskatchewan. Alright, so we start with January 2017, and, you know, the center of the universe, Ontario. White-tailed deer found in northwestern Ontario are the largest wild whitetails known. They have access to a wide range of food. In the deep wilderness, they feed on grasses and softwood bark, leaves, shoots, and plants. I'm kind of surprised that they take this picture of deer for Ontario. There's just so much in Ontario, but I guess it's kind of tricky to to choose, but I'm living back in Ontario this year. Actually, that was one of the big things that changed, was I moved from Quebec to Ontario for work. So it's pretty blank so far. Nothing too exciting going on. So what's next? Well, February. Which province? We're going to the west coast of British Columbia. That's this one over here. The west coast. And this is a picture of Whistler Blackcomb, which I've been to a long time ago. Whistler Blackcomb is one of the consistently top-ranked ski destinations in the world. This is where they did a lot of the Olympics in 2010. It boasts more skiable terrain than any other North American resort. In this area, the average total snowfall is large enough to bury a 3-story apartment building. Well, that's a lot of snow. Yeah, BC is beautiful. I have a lot of friends actually who moved or who live there already, and then a couple who moved there recently in the fall as well. And so I've got lots of reasons to go and visit them in Vancouver, which is way down there in the corner. In March we have Saskatchewan, which is the weirdest province ever. It's so small and empty. Saskatchewan, cool fact, is the only province, it's the only kind of place I think on Earth that doesn't do daylight savings. You know when you have to switch your clock back and forth an hour, the spring and the fall? Well, Saskatchewan doesn't do that. So, in the winter, it shares the same time different as Manitoba, and then in the summer it shares the same time as Alberta. So it just kind of thought back and forth. My brother lives there right now because there is an Air Force base. Is that a secret? Oh, no, that's not a secret. It's not a secret base. It's a training base for the Canadian Air Force. It's in Saskatchewan because there's nothing. It's just fields. It's so flat. It's so flat in Saskatchewan. Except for this, I didn't see that. The Athabasca sand dunes are the most northerly active sand dune formation on Earth. The outstanding scenery is combined with a unique ecosystem, rich in rare and endemic plants, which scientists consider an evolutionary puzzle. Huh. No, I didn't go there. I just went and saw fields and flatness and straight highways. It didn't blow my mind. Let me just tell you that. Okay, Manitoba. Oh, and there's a polar bear. So this is Manitoba. It's the one right beside Ontario. Churchill, Manitoba is one of the few human settlements where polar bears can be observed in the wild. High demand is seen for tourism operations in the Churchill area for access to world-class polar bear viewing opportunities. It's true. My parents lived there for a while, and there was a highway that would just be closed sometimes because there were way too many polar bears. Yeah, before I was born, my parents lived in northern Manitoba. So, like, this is where most of Canada lives. It's, like, right around here, like, most of our population. And, like, there are some cities here in Manitoba, that's where Winnipeg is. But they lived up here. And then Lake, and then Churchill is way up here. Where my dad for a while lived in the Northwest Territories. So, it's north. That's far. Their days are so short in the wintertime. Sometimes up here, I don't even think the sun rises all the way. It just kind of goes a bit. And then in the summer, it never really sets. So that's weird. Okay. Newfoundland and Labrador. That's way over here on the east coast, the furthest east point. It's pretty far north too. When it comes to viewing icebergs, Newfoundland and Labrador is one of the best places in the world. On a sunny day, you can view these 10,000-year-old glacial giants from many points along the northern and eastern coasts, in every shape and size, with colors ranging from snow white to the deepest aquamarine. Cool fact, the Titanic, it hit an iceberg outside of Newfoundland. It was over here, and that's where it crashed. So that's where the Titanic is. If you were wondering, I just saw the most wonderful musical. And I highly recommend this because it is going to Broadway. So if you are going to New York in the next little while, you must see a musical called Come From Away. And it's about, during 9/11, so many flights were coming from Europe when they closed off the American airspace. All the flights, or many of them, were diverted to a very small town called Gander in Newfoundland. And I think there's 39 flights, something like that. And it's the story is real. It's real stories about real people who, like, just the generosity and the kindness of this small town, because it way doubled in population, taking care of these quote-unquote plain people from all over the world who had never even heard of Newfoundland before. And it's true, though, people from the East Coast are the kindest people ever. East Coast Canada, go there. Here you can go to Halifax, it's beautiful. Newfoundland is so unique, though. I love it. I've been once and I'd go again. I have some friends from there too. Oh, that's my birthday. June, we've got Prince Edward Island, also an East Coast. Prince Edward Island, oh, it's very tiny. I'll show you on the map. It's there. Prince Edward Island has over 800 kilometers of sandy shoreline that is filled with red and pink beaches. The island is formed from sedimentary bedrock composed of soft red sandstone, which produces the rich red soil. The redness of the soil is due to the high iron oxide rust content. If you ever read Anne of Green Gables, it takes place there. What's next? New Brunswick. Another East Coast town, or province. I went there for the first time this past summer. The moose is the largest member of the deer family and stands taller at the shoulder than the largest saddle horse. Moose are powerful swimmers within days of birth and sometimes dive 5.5 meters or more for plants at the bottom of the lake. Moose, of course. So I drove from Quebec to New Brunswick. It takes about 9-10 hours. We had a whole bunch of different groups of friends that were carpooling, and one of the other groups, they were late and they were like, "Oh, we hit a moose." Because they did. They said they hit it. They knocked it on that side, which can be absolutely fatal if you're going fast or if you're in a car, because these things are huge. They're like a big brick wall, and if you hit them, they will squish you and you will die. They just kind of like knocked it a little tiny bit. I think it like ran up beside them, and the car was fine, and then the moose was fine too. It just ran off. But that's what happens. It's so common to say, "Yep, we hit a moose." Happened in New Brunswick. We've got so many there. Nova Scotia. That's here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Peggy's Point Lighthouse is one of Nova Scotia's most well-known lighthouses and maybe the most photographed in Canada. The lighthouse was built in 1915 and is located in the quaint fishing village of Peggy's Cove along the southern shore. So that'd be down there. My younger brother, who lives in Saskatchewan, actually owns a house there. I haven't been in a while, and I would love to go. The ocean. Okay. Alberta. Lake Louise. Lake Louise is known for its famous stunning turquoise color. Melting water from the glaciers contains silt or rock flour, and once this enters the lake, it transforms the color into this beautiful hue. July and August are the best times to experience its beauty, as most of the glacier melt has entered the lake and the color is at its peak intensity. I haven't been here before, but I have been to Banff and Jasper in Alberta. Oh my gosh, the Rockies are so majestic, and I'm craving to go back. I think that I will this summer. But here we go. My second home, Quebec. Maple trees. Oh, so yeah, I am such a stereotypical Canadian because I love maple syrup so much, and I eat it so much, like every day. I put it in tea. I have it in my oatmeal. Like real stuff, not this table syrup or whatever, but real maple syrup. Maple syrup is made from the sap of sugar maple, red maple, or black maple trees, although it can also be made from other maple species. Quebec is by far the largest producer of maple syrup, responsible for about 3/4 of the world's output. That's a lot. And like, yeah, for the world. We just have some territories left here. Yukon, that's way up here. The gray wolf. In the Yukon, the gray wolves build their dens in the south-facing slopes next to the beaver ponds with an easy reach of water and food. If you try howling in the late evening in one of these areas, you may hear a family answer you back. I may be going there this summer as well. To Whitehorse, which is a town in Yukon. I hope I don't see a wolf. That'd be scary. The Northwest Territories. Nowhere can the aurora borealis be any closer than in Canada's north. People from around the globe gather in the Northwest Territories to catch the spectacular light show from October to March, where the skies dance with color, one wave after the other. That's the Northwest Territories there. My dad used to live there for a brief period, but over here. But now there's another. Oh, is this not on our... Did they leave it out? Oh, no good, they put it in. I was going to say they left one out. Because we have 11 provinces and... No, 10 provinces and 3 territories. Not very many people live up here. There's a large native. Not native. Indigenous people. Or I guess they would be First Nations. First Nations? No. Indigenous. Because if you say Indigenous, it includes Métis and Inuit and First Nations. They're all under that umbrella. So for Inuit would be up there. There we go. Nunavut. It's this one here. And my favorite animal. Belugas are common to Nunavut communities along the western coast of Hudson Bay. Along here. They are sometimes called sea canary due to their high-pitched squeaks, squeals, clucks, and whistles. Belugas are gregarious and form groups of up to 10 animals, although during the summer they can gather in the hundreds or even thousands in estuaries and shallow coastal areas. So I guess they threw in January to have the extra month. Or does it keep going? Oh, that's the calendar at a glance. Very cool. So that's it. I hope that you have a very, very wonderful new year and that your 2017 is a very wonderful year. So all the best. Bonne année, mes amis.